Hey, what's going on, family? This is Tariq Nasheed, and I'm out here in the beautiful city of Washington, D.C., and I want you to join me this June 15th, 2024 for the Rally for Reparations Juneteenth celebration right here in Freedom Plaza. We came here to Freedom Plaza a few years ago. We turned up, turned out. It was a phenomenal event, and we're coming back to do it again, and we want to see you here. This year, we're going to have so many phenomenal speakers. We're going to have me hosting. We're going to have Brother Reza Islam, Sister Vicky Dillard, Greg Marcel Dixon, Black Alpha, Afro Elite, Dr. Randy Short, Dr. Mayat, and a very special music performance by hip-hop legend Big Daddy Kane. So family, you do not want to miss this. Come enjoy your foundational Black American heritage and celebrate it at the Rally for Reparations right here, Juneteenth celebration. For more information, go to rallyforreparations.com. That's rallyforreparations.com. We will see you here.
All right, let's get Eastsiders while we're waiting on Atavis.
Hey, how you doing tonight, brother?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Oh, man, I wanted to tackle so many things that teller said, man. First thing, it's funny that we talked about from day one when they start coming here, we told them about how white supremacy works. And they just told us to shut up and don't say nothing about it and just pretty much lay dead about the subject. Now, when they starting to feel the heat, now all of a sudden they want to talk about, oh, we're all the same. And more to the point, you know, to show you when we started delineating, that really put a bug in their ass about that, you know, because they can't, like you said, they can't tether on to what we're doing. And for the record, we're not just talking about Black immigrants. When we say tether, we talking about anybody who tether off of anybody else's culture, particularly ours. Because everybody does that, even the so-called Wiggers, the whites. So we want to make sure that everybody understands what's really going on about this. And also, for the record, we don't hate everybody. We don't hate anybody. But we're done with the disrespect. It's just that simple, and I'll land there.
Thank you so much. Real talk, man. Yes, Latte?
You can hear me now, huh?
Yes, ma'am. I can hear you now.
Okay, so I really didn't bounce, but my mic was off. I am a Black American, and I really don't like the word foundational Black American.
Why not?
Well, the ideology with the group.
What group? Wait, what group?
With your group.
There is no group. I have no group, man.
Well, see, that's the thing. You say there is no leader.
There is no leader or no group. You just made up something.
No, come on.
Yeah. Come on, nothing.
Listen,
no, ma'am.
Listen, I've been around.
No, ma'am.
Listen,
ma'am.
Let me talk.
No, you're not going to start lying. Okay, we're not going to do that. Let's slow down, ma'am. You just made up a non-existent group. There is no group. If there's a group in your mind, you go deal with that in your own imagination. There is no group, nor am I the leader of any non-existent group. Okay? So you can't pretend that there's a group and then make believe somebody's the leader of a group. Life don't work like that, ma'am. And then you want to build a straw man argument based on your imaginary group. We don't do that because your premise is already starting off wrong. Everything else is nullified. Okay? If you starting off on a false premise, everything you say afterwards is nullified. It doesn't need to be spoken if you're going to start off with a false premise. Ma'am, you said you're the latte liberal. You are a Democrat. You sound like some kind of Kamala Harris, Biden type of Democratic shill. Are you like clicked in with the Democratic Party? Unmute your microphone, ma'am.
Ladies and gentlemen, I put this little note in.
Ma'am, are you a part of the Democratic Party? Are you a part of an organization with the Democrats? Let's be real. We talk truth to power here.
I'm an independent, and I know you're not going to let me say anything.
No. I know you're going to have to tell the truth. No, ma'am. You have to just tell the truth.
Okay? I'm trying. You're not going to let me speak. Tariq.
am, but
You're not.
you're not gonna,
You're not going
ma'am.
to.
You're not gonna lie though, especially lie on me. Okay,
How can
if you
there
start lying,
how can there be
it,
discourse if you're going to talk over me? That's no
because you can't
discourse.
start.
That's
But
no
no, you can't.
discourse.
We can't have discourse if you're going to
We
lie,
can't have discourse if you're going to mute my mic. Ladies
Miss
and
Lady,
gentlemen, I
Miss
put a
Lady, Miss
note in
Lady,
the chat. Read
Miss
my
Lady,
chat. There cannot be dis.
Miss Gladys, Auntie Gladys. You can't start lying. You started off on a false premise. We don't do lies here, ma'am. All right. Well, you can say what you need to say, but when you start lying, we have to rewind and we have to start over with truth. Okay? Because I don't do lies. I don't justify anybody lying. If you start lying, I'm not going to even validate that conversation. The conversation is invalid, ma'am. So you got to start off with truth. Now, let's start again. Now, let's start off with truth. Okay? Now, I know you used to running shit at the bingo games, but this is not the bingo game, okay? We're going to speak truth to power, Miss Gladys. Now, let's start. Unmute your microphone, ma'am. Your grandkids should have told you how to work an iPhone a little bit better. But go ahead, Miss
Please
Gladys.
stop with the sarcasm. It has no valid point here.
Go ahead, ma'am.
Thank you.
Now, why don't you like the term foundational Black American? And don't pretend that there's a group that doesn't exist, because that's not true. Why? What's the real reason?
First of all, the ideology that you have.
What ideology?
First of all, Tariq, the terminology saying there is no leader
Right.
when you know there is a leader.
No, there's not. How can a
Sir,
person be a leader of a
please
lineage?
let me finish.
No, you're not going
Now,
to lie,
if
Bernice.
I,
How
son,
can you be the leader
son,
of a
when
lineage?
you throw,
Gertrude, how can you be the leader of a lineage? You can't be the leader of a lineage. What you're saying makes no sense, ma'am. What are you talking about? Do you have Alzheimer's, ma'am? What are you talking about, ma'am? And I see, hold on, somebody sent me a picture of you up here with, you got a picture of Biden and Kamala where you're gushing over them. So, yeah, you're one of these Biden Kamala bots. Okay. Bernice, hop on. So you're a Democratic
another
shill.
thing, when you said you're going to take a busload to uh, stand against Biden
I, I
for
didn't say that.
against immigrants. That
I
is
didn't say
your
that.
interest. That is your interest. What
Okay, I didn't say that. But you are an old pathological depends wearing liar, ma'am. Do you have grandkids? Do they sit up and let their grandma lie like this? I never said I'm gonna take a busload of people any damn where. I've never said anything remotely like that, Gertrude. Ma'am, you Democratic shills are pathological liars. And that's what let's keep it a buck. You're upset because you're a Biden Harris shill, and we are looking out for our lineage, and we're saying that we want certain things tangible for our lineage. And you can't really refute that. So you are making up a non existent organization and building a straw man argument based on that. Now, ma'am, speak truth to power. Unmute your microphone, Bernice.
your socioeconomic status is totally different from a percentage of the people in this group. That may be
There is no
that
group,
may be your self-interest, sir.
ma'am, whatever group that's in your imagination. You deal with them when you're at the VA hospital getting your medication, ma'am. Deal with that non-existent group there. We are from a lineage. We have a lineage, and it's 40 million people in that lineage, ma'am. We are non-immigrants. So I don't know what group in your imagination. If you want to deal with an imaginary group, you have to deal with that on your own time. We don't deal with that here. Now, how long have you been a Democratic shill, ma'am? How long have you been shilling for Biden and Kamala Harris? See, this is one of these women who helps Clyburn fry catfish nuggets for the Get Out the Vote campaigns. She's one of them. Go ahead, Gladys.
Third thing, sir, your definition of lineage is totally wrong.
How so?
Sir, when you say lineage, you are taking it to one generation, America. Sir, you are totally wrong. You
Well,
really
make
need to do
what?
some, you need to do
Make,
some research. What
okay,
is your
school me,
lineage?
school
You
me,
have
and you
several
can't even
steps
say it
to
right.
a lineage. You really need to go back to school, sir.
School me, you
When you
school me,
say lineage, you just take it to one generation. People
school
in
me.
this people in this session, some of these people can go back 5 generations, and you're saying, what is your lineage? Now, that's just 4 things that I
What
have
is this
to
we're
say.
talking?
That's 4 things.
What are you talking about, Gladys?
You will never know because you put me on mute. And
You're
then
not
when you
muted,
don't
ma'am.
want to
You're
hear
not
it,
muted,
you throw names like a
Gladys. You're just
bully,
saying stuff.
like a bully.
But you can't even pronounce lineage right. You're like, you 4 generations from your lineage. Your lineage, you don't know what your lineage is in South Dakota. Your lineage is something special. I spill blood in Selma. You don't know what your lineage is, baby. You're just granny babbling. You're just granny babbling right now, ma'am. I'm giving you a platform, but it's just bad. You just granny babbling. Why don't your grandbabies come get you and put you somewhere? The nursing home is calling, ma'am. You lost it. You shouldn't be driving.
Ladies and gentlemen, you see how the bully reacts. Now
Nobody's
he
bullying
spent
you.
30 minutes with that guy talking about Jamaica,
Go, go
wasting
ahead.
your time, wasting your
You're
precious time because
babbling.
he has
Go ahead. Go
nothing
ahead,
to
Gladys.
say.
Go, Gladys.
He has
Gladys.
nothing. He's a
Gladys.
comedian.
Gladys.
He's a
Go ahead and speak truth
comedian
to
and
power.
he's a
Gladys.
grifter. He takes your
Okay,
fun. He's not in the same socioeconomic
ma'am.
demographic as
The only thing that's grifting are your dentures from them gums with all of that granny babbling, ma'am. You're just saying stuff. Now, Glad, are you a black person? By the way, somebody said you might be a white person cosplaying as a black person. Are you a black person, Gladys?
no. Listen,
Are you a black
I am
person?
black. I am highly educated. That's why I know that.
Really?
That's why I
Wait,
know
wait, wait,
that
wait, wait,
if
wait,
there's
wait, wait, wait,
any,
wait, wait, wait. You're highly educated and you can't pronounce the word lineage? You keep talking about lineage, but you're highly educated? Okay. Lineage rhymes with spinach. Okay. All right, education. Where'd that education come from? So I can keep my kids away from that institution. Go ahead, Gladys. And Gladys, do you come from an immigrant background, ma'am?
see, that's the first thing right there. When there's
Uh-oh.
nothing to say, it's where
Uh-oh.
do you come from?
Uh-oh.
Where is your
Uh-uh.
lineage? And then,
Where is your
and
lineage,
and
by the way?
and then
Where
he
is your
becomes
lineage?
comical, the clown. He's the
Uh-oh. 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 Family, y'all know when you ask somebody where their background is and they get to babbling, you know what that is. Uh-oh. Where her lineage from? Uh-oh. Okay. Okay. I think you answered without answering, ma'am. Somebody has a different lineage. Uh-oh. That's why you have a problem with foundational Black Americans, because nobody would really have a problem with their own lineage. You understand? Nobody would really have a problem with that, but a tether would. Go ahead, Gladys. Let's hear you, dear. Go
One of
ahead,
these
beloved.
days, I'm going to meet you,
Oh,
and
and do what?
it-
What you gonna do? Please don't don't do nothing sexual to me. Don't. What you gonna do, Lord?
you're you're gonna see that I'm a Black woman.
Okay, because a lot of these aunties be trying to hit
No,
on
no, no.
you.
Oh
So,
God, no. You're
so
married, and I'm
I know.
married,
I,
and I'm
I don't
married.
want your. I
But
don't want your.
but
I don't want no
I
granny
I
pants. I don't want.
really
I don't
wish.
want granny. I don't want granny
No, no,
pants.
no,
So,
no,
but
no.
go ahead.
Listen,
Okay,
sweetheart. No,
go ahead, dear.
no, no,
Go
no.
ahead, dear.
I
Are you married? Are you married to a white man?
no, 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 no,
Okay.
no. My husband is Black.
What's his
He's
What's his
chocolate.
lineage?
He's chocolate.
What's his lineage? What's his
He's a
lineage?
Black American.
Okay.
And listen, I wish that you would use your knowledge in a better way. I wish you
Like how?
listen.
How am I
You
not using
you
it in a
you started in Africa or Jamaica or in the Caribbean. You were somewhere else, and you tried to um, make a living with those brothers and sisters, and then you started again here, and I guess you were
what?
doing
What?
well.
What?
Listen, let me.
What are you talking about? Where did I try to make a living with somebody in Africa? What the hell are you talking about, dear? What are you talking about, beloved? What are you talking about? What are you saying, dear? I know you're older and your mind be slipping away. You just be imagining stuff. What are you talking about?
Beloved, these people know you. So, like I said, um, don't become a clown. Don't be comical. Don't be a bully. They know you. And like I
Right.
said,
And they know you, man. We hear you. We hear you sound crazy. You're just making up things and saying stuff, ma'am. You're just saying stuff, ma'am. And you're a mature woman. I have a lot of young people listening. They don't need to see Granny just saying weird stuff, ma'am. You got to set a better example, ma'am. You can't be misleading people by saying things that's just deliberately false and deceptive. You're way too old to be lying like this, ma'am. You got to be speaking the truth. You're not going to be here that much longer. You got to speak truth to get to heaven. You're not going to get to heaven with these lies. You're going to be down in hell. You and your bingo cards just burning up with lies, ma'am. You can't be this kind of pathological liar. You're too old for that, ma'am. Anyway,
ladies
Gertrude,
and gentlemen, he could never intimidate me. And I
nobody's trying
wish
to,
you would feel the same way. He could never. So
ma'am,
I can't waste my time trying to get through to him because I already know his
because
pattern, and I hope
you're
you
not
know
telling the
his
truth.
pattern too. He will mute me and he'll go through the same two or three personalities: bullying, intimidation, same two or three, types.
How have I
So
bullied you, dear? How
listen,
have I bullied?
listen.
How have I bullied
You're
you?
going to do the same thing. You're going to try to make a
I,
mockery of the conversation. There's
no,
not going to
ma'am,
be any discourse. You're going to
because you
silence
started
my
off lying.
conversation.
Because you started off lying, ma'am. I can't have you just sitting here lying. I just can't do that, man. This is a truth forum that we speak truth to power. I just can't let somebody sit here lying. But anyway, Gertrude, let me let you drink you some soy milk and go to sleep. Thank you, dear. Let me get you off here. Lord, this is a Democratic shill. Citizen K, hop on, brother.
Good evening, Brother Tariq.
What's up, brother? How
Good
are you?
evening to everybody. I am from Ghana, West Africa,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yes.
I've been listening to you.
Uh-huh.
I think it is important on a global platform like this to be respectful of other people's ideas, even if they contradict with yours. There's no need to make mockery of other people like you did with this lady and the guy before her.
Right. Now,
Now, let me finish,
wait.
please.
Okay, hold on now. You're going to have to wait now. If you start lying, yes, you will be made a mockery of because we do not lie. And if you lie and you deliberately lie, we have to slow it down because a lot of these people, y'all come from these backgrounds where you're used to lying and scamming and manipulating and scheming, and that's why your societies fail. We don't want that energy here. We want truth to power. We don't want scamming, lying, and manipulating to be normalized. So when y'all start lying, we pump the brakes and we clean out the chimney so that we can get real clean smoke coming through. Now go ahead, Citizen K. Go ahead, Citizen Kofi.
Okay. Brother, can I speak without being interrupted?
Uh-huh.
I will appreciate that very much so that people can get educated and get information and they can make their own
Mm-hmm.
minds. But if you keep
Uh-huh.
stopping people every sentence they make, you stop them, then their trend of thought is distorted. And that's not a way
Now,
to have this kind of conversation.
no. Let me explain something to you, sir. We run this over here. And we run this forum and we have decorum and we have order. So when you say something, I like for people to stop and elaborate. If you make a claim, you stop and elaborate on your claim. You don't make claims and then dictate how we're going to react to your claims, especially if the claims are false. So we have a real truthful dialogue here. Now, go ahead and continue to what you were saying, sir. Go ahead.
Truth can be subjective. But anyway,
No,
let's put that
no,
aside.
truth is truth.
Let
Is
me,
truth.
the point I want to make is this.
Mm-hmm.
You can personally decide, or with your group decide, that you don't want to have anything to do with shithole Africa. You can. Nobody can stop you from doing that. But there's a lot of people who have affinity to where they come from. If they came from Scotland, they came from Poland, they came from wherever, there's that affinity, that relationship. And I think there's a lot of African Americans who appreciate their lineage to Africa, their original
Okay,
lineage to Africa.
got
Now,
it.
hopefully, I pronounce the word right for you.
Yes,
You're making a
yes.
mockery
And
of
I,
the
I
lady,
what you just said,
let
what
me
you
finish,
said.
please.
Slow down.
So
Hold
stop
on. So
bullying
I'm
people. Let
agreeing
me
with you. Slow
finish.
down.
Can I
Slow down.
finish?
I'm agreeing.
You're trying to
If
bully
sure.
everybody. If you don't want to
Okay.
listen to people,
Slow
don't come on
down.
Twitter Spaces.
Slow,
I'm
man. If you
slowing
don't
down. I'm not mad. Don't try to
calm down,
insult me because I'll insult you
don't.
back.
You're getting musty mad. Do I need
Fuck
to get
you.
you some work? Do I need to get? Don't you say F me. You don't say that to the green card people. Slow down. Now, what I'm saying, Mr. Musty Man, I agree. If people have an affinity to Africa, that's perfectly fine. But don't try to shame us into doing it too. Now, go ahead, Mr. Musty, sir. Oh, he bounced. Okay. Yeah, buddy. No, no, no. Don't you try to get musty mad at me, sir. That don't work on me. I'm not one of your 13 hostage wives that you have that you beat on. You can punk them out. You don't punk me. No, no, no. Y'all used to yelling at women and all that. No, no, no. I'm not one of the wives you got hostages. You don't do that. We don't play that game. I was actually agreeing with him, and I wanted him to elaborate, but he thought he was going to kind of come in here and call shots. You're not going to call nothing, but you're Uber to come pick people up. All right. Let's get Moshi. Moshi in the building.
What's up, brother?
What's up, Moshi? How are you,
Man,
sir?
I enjoy listening to your space, man.
Yeah.
Hey, the way you
Well,
handle
together.
these people, man, I'm telling you, sometimes when I had conversations with these folks at work and I try to explain foundational Black Americans to them, and they get this attitude about it, and I'm Jamaican or I'm from Haiti, and I'm like, I don't give a damn about either place. I'm from here. I'm
Right.
from Washington D.C. Right?
Hmm.
My family been here before America was created. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? And
And your family has been here before Jamaica was created, truth be told.
right. So,
Yeah.
and then the Ghana guy, I'm sitting here listening to this dude. Like, do you know? We know the whole trick of the 400-year return back to Ghana. How y'all was over there selling Black Americans land 2, 3 times to the same people, defrauding the people that was coming back over there. They don't really want to
Hmm.
tell that truth. You know what they really was
Oh
doing.
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. 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 They don't want to own up to the little scams that they got going on over there. We calling that out. We're not playing these games. We're telling the truth. All the truth to power now. We're telling the truth. And people are making videos left and right talking about they're going over there and the scams are just nonstop, man. That's the long and short of it. We're not going to sit here and keep walking people into scams. I'm not going to do that. I'm just not going to do that. I'm going to tell the truth. I don't want my folks to go over there and get scammed because they always run these little scams on us. Uh-oh, is this Johnny Somali? Uh-oh. Speaking of scam, it's Johnny Somali again, guys. Boy, all the tethers are coming through. Well, so this is the internet tether troll, Johnny Somali. What's up, Johnny Somali?
Oh, Mr. Tariq Nasheed.
What's
Hello.
going on? What's
King
going on, my
Donkey
little...
Kong Gorilla Grifter. How are you?
I'm good, my fleeing, musty tether troll friend. What's going on
I
in
am
tether
no
troll?
I am no tether. I am no troll.
Oh, yes, you are. You are fleeing
Brother, can we stop
tether.
with the mutes? Why you keep muting?
Oh, no, slow down, slow down. You're always trying to cosplay as us, and you can never do it. You can never be us, sir. You can never be a
Listen, if I
foundational,
was African American, I would kill myself
sir. The only thing you're killing is us with the must. Sir, you go around to different countries getting beat up like a tether.
and fucking all the
You can
women.
never.
Don't forget that.
Oh, no, the tricking off your little tether money.
Hey, ain't tricking if you got it, nigga.
Oh, yeah, it's tricking, and you ain't really got it. The only thing you got is AIDS and Ebola. So you can never be us. You don't have the game. You go around getting beat up all around the world.
And
Okay.
that AIDS and
You-
Ebola, I'm gonna come spread at your little march.
no, you're not, sir. No, you're not. Because we're gonna spot that forehead a mile
I'm
away.
gonna
We're
come to
gonna
your march. So what are you gonna do in person?
that's great. We're gonna use your forehead as a jumbotron so people can see the performances. So that we do need you there. We need you to stand in the front. Okay.
Yes,
So
we'll play your
anyway,
jungle.
I don't want to hear tether troll must. Okay, this is a loser musty troll who gets beat up all over the place, who's extremely jealous of foundational black Americans. All right, he's so jealous and runs around claiming that he's a black American. He tries to cosplay as us. Little musty child soldier, former child soldier. All right, let's get turned building. And we're in here heavy. By the way, rally4reparations.com. We still need everybody to support the Rally for Reparations. Rally the number 4 reparations. And Johnny, definitely come on up. Come on up to the Rally for Reparations. Come on up. We love to have you up. It's going to be a phenomenal event.
Hey, how you doing, man?
What's up, Turn?
What up, bro? Hey, is my shit glitching or am I like the only speaker on this motherfucker?
No, there's a lot of people speaking. You can't hear people? What happened?
Oh no, I just said I'm the only speaker. I thought I was like privileged and shit. I was like, thank you. No, that's fire, bro. Yeah.
Now, where you from, Turn?
I live in Cali.
Cool. So what's on your mind?
Now I just saw Joni Somali was in here, so I was like, oh, this must be a turn space. So I joined up.
So you're a feathered tether like
I'm
him.
not really
What
like
part?
him. I just
What
think he's
part?
a interesting.
What part of Africa did your family flee from? By the way,
What do you mean by flea?
flee. They fled from somewhere in Africa. What country did they flee from?
Well, I wouldn't say flee. I mean, they leave and they go back. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, I don't fully.
Which country? Which country?
Like I said, I don't fully support Johnny Somali.
Which country does your family leave and go back and forth to, sir?
My country go back and forth to Eritrea in East Africa. It's a nice little country.
Okay. Why were you so ashamed to say that,
I
sir?
wasn't ashamed. It was more of just like,
You shouldn't be ashamed of your homeland,
yo,
sir. You
wait,
really should.
hold up. What you mean I should be ashamed though? Like,
I said you shouldn't be ashamed of your homeland. And I knew that you were a tether because FBAs don't listen to Johnny Somali. We don't listen to unfunny, unwitty trolls. That's not our culture. So only another tether would listen to that. You understand? So that's why I knew.
Wait, my
So
fault, sir. What's a tether?
okay. Do some Googling. But
Okay,
thank you
for
so
sure.
much. Google it. Yeah. Yeah. Anybody, you can tell by a person's fan base. Foundational Black Americans, we don't listen to unfunny, lame trolls. That's not a part of our culture. Only other tethers listen to that cornball nonsense. So yeah, you look and white supremacists. White supremacists like witty, non-witty, unfunny troll shit. White supremacists like goofy shit like that. We can tell that these people are not our audience. They don't come from us. You did. You're like the butt of the joke to white supremacists. You know. So yeah, we don't like you in our circles. What's up? I see you over there, Stacy. OnlyFans Stacy. Lord, Stacy, I know you're probably in here trying to promote your OnlyFans because your page is a little thirsty. Because well, Stacy, let me get you on. I'll get you a couple of customers. Stacy, hop on. And Stacy's kind of out there. She just kind of babbles and says weird stuff, but she has her hand up because I think she wants to get a couple of customers for her OnlyFans. Stacy, you want to say something, dear? You want to promote your OnlyFans? Stacy, you want to hop on, dear? And she has an OnlyFans, but her shape is very weird. No disrespect, but she's very funny built, and I don't think she makes that much money on OnlyFans. I think she works at Starbucks to supplement her OnlyFans income to do that. Well, Stacy, she's not saying that. Stacy, I was going to give you a shot to really promote your OnlyFans, but you're not saying nothing. Okay. You need some Ozempic to do something with that shape. Let's get some. Let me see. Let's get King Tone in the building. Let's get King Tone. All right. Let's get King Tone in the building, and then we'll get Epic. We got a lot of people in here. We got like 1,200 people. King Tone,
Hey, what up, though?
what up, though? Detroit in the building. What's
Most
happening?
definitely. Hey, man, I just so I'm FBA, but I also consider
Yeah.
myself a Pan African. So
Okay.
I don't know if you, I know that this is like the topic of the group, and I don't know if you said this already, but do you consider those two things to be like problematic to be at the same time?
No, my question. No, if it's no, it's not problematic because your lineage is your lineage. No matter what, if you are a crackhead, if you come from an FBA lineage, that's your lineage. So my question is, what has Pan Africanist groups? What have they actually accomplished? So that's the question. Could you give some examples of people accomplishing some type of Pan Africanism?
Well, me to be honest, I don't really know a whole lot of history of Pan Africanist groups, but I do see the benefits in the in different black people from all over the world just kind of getting on code and supporting each other. And I've experienced that in some ways on my journey in life, so that's why I lean more towards that. But I
Okay.
can't say I know much history about it though. Like I can't I don't know.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much. Well, people say they got a personal journey. Well, usually that means they didn't, went somewhere and got with a chick from Jamaica, got with a chick somewhere. Okay. Because usually that's where Pan Africanism kind of extends. You go date somebody from another country, and that's the Pan Africanism. Eric, what's up, man? Or Epic, not Eric, Epic. Yo, Epic, hop on.
Tariq,
Uh
can you get me?
oh, I can hear you, sir. What's up, Epic?
Thank you for if you can hear me. I'm on a PC, I'm not on a phone. So can I ask you something? I've realized how you upgrade those guys.
You
You,
realize what?
I realize what? Sorry.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. I can go ahead.
I mean, the way those guys came through, I mean, that girl who you just created and the other guy from Ghana was defending her. Do you have
Okay.
some predetermined thought about what someone is going to say or their perception and how you are going to process it? I mean, the truth. If someone says an opinion and maybe that does not match up to your expectation, does that mean they are wrong?
Well, opinions and
Hello.
lies are two different. I don't let people lie. You're not going to lie, especially lie on me. If a person lies on me, we're going to have to shut the conversation down and bring it back to truth. We don't do that. I know in your culture, a lot of people just sit around lying, and lying is normalized. We don't do that in foundational Black American culture. This is how we maintain integrity. If people are lying, we have to shut things down and stop the lies and then bring truth to power. You see how that works?
Yeah, I get that. Personally, I'm a black African. I'm a Kenyan, and I'm
You from
proud of
Kenya?
any black movement. I don't support it. What I'm trying to say is the
You're from
opposite
Kenya.
of lying is the truth. Yeah, yeah,
Okay, got it. Got it.
yeah. The opposite of lying is truth, right?
All right.
So, like, if someone does not tell what in your perception think is the truth, does that mean they are lying? Sounds
No,
like
no,
a
no, no.
predetermined outcome.
No, 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 no. So a lie is a lie. When you say something that you know is wrong and you know it's false, that's called lying. There's no misinterpretation. The woman called up
Yeah,
lying. She called up lying. She told several lies, and I
yeah,
stopped her
yeah. I
from lying.
agree. I'm not a misogynist. Of course, I would call a lie a lie. But that other guy who came to defend that lady, I think he had an open mind.
Well, he just
Um,
started.
I'm guessing.
He got musty mad and just started kind of babbling. I didn't get him out of here, so he kind of had a temper tantrum, and he thought he was going to control the dictation of the conversation, and that just didn't work. But thank you so much, Epic.
Yeah,
Thank you. You're taking a long time to get your sentences out, and you know, the tethers like to try to justify lying. There's no justifying lying, guys. That's what the tethers see. Y'all so used to lying. Y'all come from these cultures where you don't really have anything, so only thing you have are your lies, and lying has become normalized. You got to come up by any means necessary and lying and scheming. So be it. And we don't do that. That's not how we do business. We don't get down like that. You dig? We do not get down like that. I don't. We don't want y'all to bring that mentality over here, where that normalized lying, everything out your mouth is a damn lie. Then y'all want to project that on us. You niggas are scamming. And when we do business, y'all try to project this stuff. No, we don't. We don't do that. We don't do that. We got to have integrity with whatever we do. Let's get calcite. Let's get calcite in the building, and then let's get he who remains. Either calcite or he who remains. What's up, Torain? I saw Torain. Did I? I'm in Atlanta. I could have swore I saw you at the mall in Atlanta today. Torain, were you at the Lenox Mall today? I could have swore I saw somebody look just like you at the Lenox Mall today in Atlanta. He who remains.
Yo, what's up, Flex? What's happening?
I'm good, man. How are
Good,
you,
good,
brother?
good. Good to speak with you tonight. Uh, I wanted to say, in answer to the question, what have Pan Africanist groups accomplished? Absolutely
Yeah.
nothing. In
Mm,
terms of paradigm shifting with international culture, it's been foundational Black Americans that have always moved the needle. And I do want to say that
yes.
I'm a Gen Xer. My mother and father were from the silent generation. And I would always wonder when I would ask the question about Africa, people that are older that are foundational Black Americans would always say, I didn't leave anything in Africa. I don't know anything
Mm,
about that. And I used to always wonder, like, why are they saying that? You know, why are they making these comments? And after becoming more informed and listening to you, now I totally understand why. So I just
Yes.
want to say thank you, brother. Appreciate everything you do.
Much respect, brother. Appreciate that. Let's get Timmy. Ebi Timmy.
Yeah, good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Ebi Timmy.
Yeah, I really think that I'm an African here in Nigeria, and on my own perspective, I feel like Pan Africans have not really achieved much
They
because,
have or
hello,
have not achieved much.
they have not achieved much.
Right. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
because of their still ethnic nationalities within themselves, and most Africans still, this, how would I put it, like we consider the white people to be like racist. But also here in Africa too, we have such things within us, so it doesn't let us to attain our full gift as Africans and Pan Africans.
Yeah.
And that's my own view.
There you
Thank you
go.
very much for this podcast. Join
Thank you,
this.
brother Ebitimi. Shout out to you, brother. That's our good brother from Nigeria, Ebitimi. All right. Let's get Phil in the building. I couldn't understand the shit that Ebitimi said, but shout out to Ebitimi. I couldn't understand nothing. Did y'all make out what he said? Phil?
Hey, Tariq, it's Phil.
What's up,
Um,
Phil? How are
I am doing all right. It's a good night. I'm just driving around. So so I just to let you know, like I'm Ethiopian, right? I'm like first
you? Okay.
generation American. And like I just really want to understand like what your like problem. Yeah, I don't want to call it a problem, but like what's your issue with like black people from Africa, and even like specifically East Africa. Like, what is like the main
Nothing.
problem?
Nothing. You're
Nothing.
out of sight, out of mind. I literally don't think about you. You're not one
Yeah,
problem at all.
yeah.
Why would you be? Why would you be a problem?
It's like the tether thing. I like what I mean. It's like
Right.
the tether thing. It's like we're different from you guys,
No.
and
You
it's
being from East Africa doesn't make you a tether.
yeah.
A tether is
Okay,
based on an action, and so it's based on something you do.
okay,
And if you undermine us, that makes you a tether. Tethers
right.
are a problem. East Africans are not a problem.
So
And there
what
are a
would
lot of
make me a
tethers who
tether?
do happen to come from
Like,
East Africa. You what? You what now?
okay, what can
The- Go ahead, brother. What now? I don't have you muted, Phil.
um
Phil, well, I have a problem with your phone. Your phone never works. Your phone's always going in and out. Phil, I don't have you muted, sir. What's on your mind, Phil? Now you say what problem do we have with you? We don't have a problem with you, sir.
what would I do that would make me a tether?
Come over here and try to undermine foundational Black Americans or show any form of
Yeah.
disrespect to foundational.
Okay, so just to understand you, if I were to start a business and I only hire people from my tribe, would that make it be a problem?
Not really, because people hire folks they know. Because I
Yeah,
hire, I hire people from LA and people from my community. So I make sure that they're taken care of. And then when I make sure they're taken care of, then we get other people, you know? So there's nothing
I
wrong with
see.
that. People look out for their group. But the
I see.
problem is y'all
Okay.
have people trying to undermine us. See, that's when we don't do that. We don't go undermining people. A lot of people come over from parts of Africa and the Caribbean and come among us, and they do things to undermine us while they benefit off of us, while they get things that we help them fight for, or we fight for things for them. And then there's a lot of disrespect. So that's a problem. What happens is y'all bring over, unfortunately, some of the tribalistic mindset. that you have there, you bring that here. And trying to use that tribalistic stuff on us is tethering. So you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay. You made it makes a lot more sense now. Thanks for all that.
Hmm. All right. Thank you so much, brother. All
Yep.
right. All right. Let me see. We got a lot of people in here tonight. We got a lot of people in here tonight. Let's get Charles. Charles, your lunch is ready. Go ahead, Charles. Brother Charles. And then we get Matro. Matro wants to get in, but he's from Canada. I don't know what you gotta say. Um Matro, you keep raising your hand. Matro, what's up, man?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, what's up, Matro?
Yeah, just a quick question. Just wanted you to expand on the definition of FBA because I heard you last week. You were talking to I forgot the guy's name, but you guys were talking about Drake, and you were mentioning about the
Hmm.
fact that he is not an FBA person. But I thought FBA was based off of lineage because Drake's father is African American. That makes him
Hmm.
half FBA. That. Am I getting that wrong or?
Hmm. But he is from another country.
Right.
See?
So then, if you're, let's say, I'm just bringing out an example. Let's say your kids decide to live in Japan and they had kids out there. Would that make them non FBA now?
They would not be of the lineage. For example, well, no, it would not be of the, like, let me give you an example. I'm a foundational Black American. I got lineage that goes to Nigeria or the West Africa, so to speak, where Nigeria is now. Nigeria didn't exist thousands of years ago or whenever they got my lineage there. Now, even though my lineage goes to that part of West Africa, I can't go to Nigeria and claim to be a part of their immediate lineage. You understand? I can't be a part of that because the nationality is different. I gotta try to immigrate there. You understand?
Well, to be
Drake,
to be fair, Nigeria
Drake,
didn't exist when your ancestors were there. So
right, exactly. But Nigeria has a lot of lineage based things as far as tribes and all of this stuff. But that doesn't matter. I'm not a part of any of those tribes. Even though if you go to ancestry.com and all of that stuff, it'll say that, okay, you came from the Igbo tribe. You came from this tribe. If I go over there and try to say, hey, look, Ancestry said I'm part of the Igbo tribe, they're like, nah, nigga, but you left. So they're not going to let me be down. You left. You ain't a part of it no more. You understand? So when you go to another country and then you kind of have to immigrate back, just like with the Liberians, they try to play the whole thing with the Liberians. But yeah, when that lineage, when you go to another place, you have another ethnogenesis. Drake had an ethnogenesis. Okay, he's Canadian. Even his mannerisms, his voice, and all of that, he had an ethnogenesis. You see, because he left. When you stay on the land and you never left from that land, you still a part of that lineage. But Drake is a Canadian, even though his dad is a foundational Black American. Drake is Canadian.
so then what about Nipsey Hussle?
Nipsey, that brother, he's part FBA, and he stayed on the land. His mom stayed on the land. He's from the land. He was born here.
So even though his
You
father is
understand?
Eritrean, he's more
Uh huh.
FBA
His
than Drake.
mama, right. His mama stayed here. He was born here. Nipsey was born here. You see, he's foundation Black America.
Yeah, but if let's say a Somali person was born in America, they wouldn't be FBA, right? It doesn't matter where you're born; it's your lineage that counts.
Right.
So that's what I'm trying to understand. Is it based off of lineage or just based off culture? Because a Somali person that grew up in Compton, or in
It,
this case, an Eritrean,
it's
can be an
it's
FBA.
lineage, it's lineage, culture, and nationality. See, all of that plays into it. Like a Somalian, if your parents are from Somalia and they came and anchored you here, you're still Somalian. You're just a Somalian anchor baby. You know, your lineage doesn't really go here to America. You see, you see how that works?
But then, in that case, Nipsey Hussle is still an Eritrean. He's not an FBA.
No, because he was born here and his mom is FBA. You see?
So you just okay. Well, then you're going back to the lineage part. That makes Drake an FBA because his lineage is FBA too.
But he was born in Canada.
But FBA is not based off of where you're born; it's based off of lineage. So
Uh,
that's why the Liberians are trying to claim it. But really, it's hard
no, no,
to
no.
fact check the Liberians. But with Drake, you can easily fact check that. You know his father was born in America, therefore that makes him an FBA.
No, he has FBA lineage, but he's not of this land. He was not born on this soil. So he had to immigrate here. You see? He had to immigrate here himself. You see? He had to immigrate here. If you had an ethnogenesis, if you had to immigrate here, you had an ethnogenesis.
No, that's
You understand?
no, I understand, but that's why I'm trying to bring up the argument of if you had kids outside of this country, would that make them non-FBA? Because I don't think that would make them a non-FBA, but you seem to think that would make them
No,
non-FBA.
it depends on who I have the kid by.
But you're FBA, so your kids are still going to be FBA. It doesn't matter where they were born.
They're going to have FBA lineage. They're going to have FBA lineage. If I go to Korea and have a baby with a Korean woman and the baby's born in Korea, technically that baby is not FBA. The baby is going to have FBA lineage, but that's not going to be an FBA baby. That baby's going to have to immigrate over here. So you're not FBA. If you got to immigrate here, you're not FBA.
I feel like this is kind
You
of like the one drop rule. Like you're implementing the one drop rule when it comes to FBA.
know, it's just like other ethnic tribes, like Native American tribes. You can't be a chief of a certain tribe if you don't have lineages that goes to both of the tribes and the land. Bloodline and land. That's why they say blood and soil. That blood and soil is a real thing.
But
Um, you being on that land and you having the bloodline, that's very important. All of that has to factor in, sir.
but you
You understand?
but you but you can claim native like checks and stuff like that even if you're a percentage. You don't have to be fully native.
No, 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 no. Some of how those you got the whole bunch of $5 Indians doing all types of janky shit, but a lot of the Native American tribes, in order to be a chief in some of those tribes, both sides of the family had to come from the lineage of that tribe. For example, the Seminoles. There was a guy named Osceola. He couldn't be one of the main chiefs of the Seminoles because he had half white lineage. It was some real janky stuff going on. So certain tribes and certain ethnic groups, they're real funny style about the lineage. Hell, even certain the mafia, and they're not an ethnic group, but I give you an example. They are, in order to be a made man, you have to have both bloodlines tracing back to Sicily, to Italy, something like that, because um, they can't have people who are shot callers with dual allegiances. So this is why we talk about having dual allegiances in foundational Black American culture. If a person has a foreign lineage and an FBA lineage, their leadership has to be questioned because they have dual allegiances and they might have an allegiance to an oppositional ethnic group that might try to undermine us. So all of that factors in when
No, I
you're
agree with you.
talking about.
I
You,
agree
you
with
know what
you.
I'm saying?
I agree with you 100%. That's why I
And,
brought up
and
the argument.
and by the way, you're Somalian, right?
I'm Somalian, yeah.
Now you know this better than anybody, sir. You know how those tribal groups are over there in Somalia. You know how those groups are when it comes to people belonging to different ethnic tribes. You know they have the same types of rules of
100%.
how the right. So you
It's
already know,
it's
sir.
based off of your father's lineage. Like
Right.
it doesn't matter what your mother is. It's you are what your father is. So even if, like, let's say that Somali person married a white woman, that Somali person can still claim that clan. But if a white man marries a Somali woman, he's just considered a white man at that point, even though he's half black, half Somali. He's just considered a white
Right.
man.
And I've seen some West African people sit here and look at anchor babies over here who got half FBA lineage and half like West African lineage. They don't even consider them West African no more. They're like, well, you're an Akata now. I've actually heard that
Yep.
from some of the people. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're an Akata now. You were born over there and you're not one of us no more. They're real big on that over there.
No,
You
and
understand? So
it's the same thing with East Africans. You know, they have terms. You're talking about the Jarer part, but there's terms
right.
for Somalis and East Africans that were born in the West. They call them Dakan Ellis, you know, certain stuff like that, derogatory stuff,
Right.
right?
Right. If they have a lineage of ours over
Yeah.
here, they disown them over there.
No, no,
They don't give
I'm not talking about lineage.
you
I'm talking about like if they were straight up born there, even if they were born by two Somali parents, they're still looked at in a negative connotation.
right. Exactly. Especially if it's half and half lineage. Especially many of those East African countries will say, "Hey, they're not a part of us no more." They'll pull that, even though the lineage goes there. They're like, not really no more. It's you different now. You
So that's
dig?
that.
So yeah,
So that's what.
same thing with Drake. Same thing with
No,
Drake.
but that's why I brought up Nipsey Hussle. I'm like, you can't go, 50-50 on it. If you're not
Drake and
accepting
Nipsey.
Drake, you
Drake.
can't
No,
accept
no,
Nipsey
no.
Hussle. That's all I'm saying.
No, no. Because Nipsey was born here.
By an Eritrean
Big
father,
difference. But
not by
with
an
an
FBA
FBA
father.
mother. But with an FBA mother,
Well, I know, but it's
you see.
50-50. It's not 100%. The lineage has to go
No, but
both
he
ways
was
for them to be fully FBA,
no,
because then
no,
they're gonna
no.
have
You
different
you don't
allegiance.
no. That's you using Somali rules. We don't use Somali rules here. He has an FBA mother. He's born on FBA land. He's FBA too. And he's part Eritrean. That's fine. But we consider him my FBA brother. That was my guy. That's my guy.
No, but
And he respects.
you just brought up the fact that there's questionable, loyalties when you have the 50-50 thing going on. And so you never
And with
really know Nipsey Hussle which way he's
Nipsey
gonna
was a,
go when it comes to that loyalty stuff.
we did what?
You never know. Like, is he more loyal to his Richmond side or to his FBA side? You don't know. Whereas a person who has parents that are
I did.
FBA on
I
both
know.
sides, you don't have to question their loyalty.
I knew Nipsey personally. You know that, right?
No, but I'm just giving you him as an example.
I know him. I know what his allegiance was. Nipsey was a rider for the community for black people here. He was a rider. That was my guy. He was a rider for real, for real. He was a rider for us. So he had a 100% loyalty to his foundational Black American lineage and the black people here. That was a 100% rider. Drake, not so much.
But you don't know him
You understand?
personally, so how would you know he's not a writer?
We see his get down, and plus he's Canadian, and we've seen some of the stuff Drake has done. So Drake is cool. I don't know him personally, but we've seen some of the stuff that he's done publicly. Yeah, Drake is Canadian. All right,
I'm just saying. I feel like you're going
Drake is
halfway
a
with
Canadian.
this FBA stuff. Like,
I like Drake. No. It
you
is what it is. Drake.
I respect the FBA. I want FBA like.
But you're talking about a Canadian citizen. He's a
No,
Canadian guy who had
I'm
him.
not saying you have to
Yeah, if you
accept Drake.
simple.
I'm just saying you have to hold down the line. You can't go halfway just because you personally knew a person. Whoever's an FBA fully 100%, you accept him. Whoever is 50-50, you gotta have you gotta look. You have to have two
But if
eyes
you
on him.
have to, yeah, but you can't compare Drake and Nipsey. Drake wasn't born here. Drake is Canadian.
No,
You
but
keep trying to crowbar. You keep trying to crowbar a
no,
comparison.
but it doesn't matter where you're born. If a Somali is
Yes, it
born
does.
in America, that
No,
doesn't
no,
make
no,
him FBA, even if he's black.
no. You can't give us Somali rules, dude. No. We don't do Somali
No, okay,
rules.
let's say
It's different,
Eritrean. You can't say an Eritrean is born in America, therefore he's an
dude.
FBA.
If he has an FBA mother, yeah.
So you just have to have one FBA parent and be born in America, and you're 100% FBA. Is that the rules?
Mm-hmm. You're an FBA. If you're born here, you got an FBA parent. Yeah, you're FBA. If you're born on this soil in America to an FBA parent, you're considered an FBA. You understand?
Uh,
Now you're in Canada, right?
I'm in America.
No. I kind of hear a Canadian accent there too.
No, I'm from Canada, yeah, but I'm in America right now.
There we go.
Yeah.
There There we go. Now, no
But
wonder I'm like, why is this motherfucker caping for Drake so hard?
that's
There,
not really the reason why I'm caping for Drake. I'm
that's
more
it.
so I'm
Yeah, you
questioning his
sound like you caping
FBA
for Drake.
loyalty here
Oh yeah,
because I feel
and
I feel like Nipsey Hussle and Drake are more kind of in the same kind of
no, they're
category.
not. No, they're not. No, they're not.
I'm
No,
talking
they're not.
lineage wise. I'm not talking about who's repping FBA more. I know Nipsey Hussle's repping
No,
FBA more, but I'm thinking from a lineage
no.
perspective, they're both the
Look,
same.
listen. And as far as any ethnic group, there's going to be a couple of outliers that are somewhat questionable that need special attention. You understand? When people are, this might be people born with to military parents. There's always going to be some kind of outlier. You understand? If somebody's deployed somewhere and they're born on a military base, there's going to be an outlier here or there. But that doesn't dictate the vast majority of foundational Black Americans being born on this land and our lineage going back to the founding of this land. That doesn't change that. A couple of outliers don't mean anything. And also, you know that as part of Somali culture, you got certain situations where people are born in a refugee camp in another country, but they're Somali, but they're part of this tribe, and there's different little outliers, but your lineage is your lineage. That's not nothing to really negotiate.
That's
Your lineage is lineage, especially if you're born on this land and you didn't immigrate here. When you start having to immigrate here, that's when it gets murky and questionable. You see how that works?
yeah. No, the thing is,
And most of us don't have to immigrate here
Dr-
from somewhere.
the thing about Drake is he's one generation removed from being FBA. It's not like Liberians. Like Liberians, you can make a case. Hey, look, you guys were
Hmm.
you were gone long enough. We don't know if you're really FBA. There's no receipts. How can we prove it? Like there's actually a receipt that can prove Drake is one generation removed from FBA. So for you to say
He has
he's not
FBA
FBA,
lineage
it's kind of like who are you to say he's not FBA? Because it's not.
because he had to immigrate here and
No,
foundational Black
I'm
American.
talking about his lineage. I'm not talking about where he
Right,
was. Because I said
right.
I made the argument. If a
Man,
FBA has
listen. I have West African lineage, but I ain't West African. Okay.
yeah, your West African lineage dates back 500 years. That's even further than
Right.
Liberia.
Right. So yeah, there's no date or whatever. I'm not West African. Okay.
Yeah, well,
Even
we wouldn't
though,
have the receipt for
even
it.
though-
Like even if that
right.
was the case, like how can we prove you're West African?
Yeah. Well, my DNA says that I'm somewhere. I got some West African DNA somewhere,
But does it give you an
but
exact
I ain't West
location?
African. Somewhere in West Africa, because those countries don't exist no more. So they can't really be that accurate because the countries don't exist no more. You can't say what landmass or what specific tribal group because those tribal groups were nomadic. They moved all over
Exactly.
the place.
But
You understand?
but you can prove your FBA because you can date back almost a century.
Yes.
I remember you saying you
Yes.
can date back a
Oh no, I
century.
can date back. I can date back 3 centuries, dude.
Exactly.
On paper, on paper. So yeah,
And
my lineage,
and
both sides of my
and
family
so can
go. I'm full FBA, 100% both sides, and never immigrated to or from anywhere. You see?
and so is Drake. He can prove the same thing.
No, Drake had to. Okay, I done said this about 20 times. He's immigrated. He immigrated here. So you keep saying, but he FBA too. That doesn't. Well, he immigrated here, so
No,
not
but
really.
you're talking about immigration. I'm talking about
Okay,
lineage. His
okay, you
lineage
talk.
is FBA.
Okay, you're talking in circles. You're saying the same thing over and over again. Okay, all right. You're just saying the same thing over and over. I'm not gonna keep repeating the same shit now. All right. You're just saying the same thing over and over again. But he's really trying to make Drake immigrated here. Okay. So yeah. So he had an ethnogenesis up in Canada. Drake is Canadian. All right. Sandra, what's up, Sandra?
Hi, good morning or good afternoon or good evening, depending on the time you guys are at. Hi, Tarif, and hello, everyone.
Oh, well, hello, how are
I'm all right, thank you. Um, it is really my first time to participate in your space, and I'm finding it interesting so far. And I just wanted to talk on Pan Africanism.
you? Yes, ma'am. Now, Sandra, where are you from, by the way?
I'm in Canada.
You from Canada too?
Yeah,
A lot of Canadians. Canada by way of what? By way of
I am
Kenya,
Canadian. I'm Canadian.
Ghanaian?
No, no, no.
No, 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 sweetie. No, no. What part of Africa did they go to before they went to Canada?
I actually moved to Canada from the Democratic Republic of the Congo. So
Congo. There you go.
yes, I'm from the
There you
central part of Africa, and I'm so
go.
proud
Okay.
of where I come from, and
Yes, indeed.
I'm proud to be African as well, African
Mm,
Canadian. So yes, I just wanted to speak on Pan Africanism. Um, Pan Africanism movements that are in Africa with the goal to eliminate colonialism and to kind of stop the Western power over African economy, I believe, and African leadership. So, in regards to the subject here that says what have Pan Africanist group accomplished, I would say there's still baby movements. We need to give them time. We all know that African countries were colonized for many years. And now most of the Western powers still have power and control over African countries. So that's why the Pan-Africanism, that the movements are fighting so hard to kind of eliminate all of those the powers that the Western powers have over Africa. So I think the idea originated from Gaddafi, who had this idea of uniting Africa, having one currency, and also the Pan Africanists. What they're thinking is to not have borders in Africa, to have Africans unite, all of African countries to just be one as a continent, and to have one leadership, and then to have one currency. So these are movements that's really focused into Africans appreciating Africa, loving Africa, working for Africa, and creating stronger um, economic system in Africa, education, and all of that. So I think they're doing a
Okay.
good job. Like they're really working hard, but it's going to take them time. And recently there was a movement in Zambia where the Africanists were they I think they marched because they want all the borders to be like just open so that Africans can just go everywhere they want and to just be
Okay.
free in Africa. So we need to give them time, and I think they're doing a good job. So I just wanted to
How,
add on that.
how, okay, because that's kind of an ideology. How come you don't think they've accomplished like none of that at all? Like none of the borders are open. Even within the countries themselves, the tribal groups are still very divisive towards each other. There's not really a camaraderie within the countries themselves. So why do you think they've not completed any form of the open border policy, even within the nations themselves?
Tariq, look, Africa, as I said earlier, most of the all the African countries were colonized for many years, and I said that the Western powers still have power over African countries. So it's going to take a long time because most of the African leaders are still kind of working for the Westerns. So it requires them to understand that we don't need the Western powers to control Africa. So it will take time for those leaders to understand that and start working for their countries and for their people instead of working for the Western powers, working for USA, working for China, working for Canada. So those leaders have to come to that understanding that we don't need them. We need ourselves. We need to strengthen our economy. We need to educate our people so they can know how to build their communities, so they can become good leaders who are not expecting the Western powers to come and tell them what to do. So it's going to take
Right.
time. As I said, it's still a baby movement, but let's give them time. And I think they'll do great things in the future.
Now, why do you think there are a lot of people who are on the Pan Africanist thing? A lot of them really come to us, foundational Black Americans, to try to really shame us into being a part of it. It's always us. They never go to the Caribbeans. They never go to the South Americans. It's always you foundational Black Americans. Y'all need to really get on top of this. Why do you think so much focus is on us to promote Pan-Africanism?
But I think that should be something that should give you pride. You should be proud of, because if they're coming to you, that means they've seen something in you. Maybe they've seen that your help will be really needed, and then that you can do something. So I think it's something that you need to take pride in. So I don't personally know what they come to you guys for, but I think it's something to take pride in. And if you guys can help one way or the other, because at the end of the day, whether you are American, you came from Africa many years ago, or your lineage is in Africa, you are still Africa, because we also know that even the white people themselves came from Africa. They originated from Africa because humanity started in Africa. So whether you are blue, you are yellow, you are Chinese, you are Indian, you are whatever you are, your origin is in Africa. So if they come to you, that means that they know that you're one of us, and you're gonna help unite Africa. So that's why
So
that
why
was my answer.
So then, if that's the case, how come foundational Black Americans have such a hard time getting dual citizenship over there, and we can't get citizenship unless we have a big bag of money we drop off there? Why is that?
I don't think I don't think that's right to say, because I've seen a lot of Americans that have gone to Africa, and they've gotten, African citizenships, and they've gotten African passports, and even Hollywood stars, or even rap people and whatnot. So Africans
You're
are
right.
very easy
They
people.
bring
Like,
money. They have to bring money, dear. They have to bring a lot of money, ma'am.
mhm.
You have to go over there and start a business. They got to look in your bank accounts. They got to see how much money you got. We got to go over there with money. You just proved it by saying rappers and all that. Yeah, if you have money, if you're a rapper or a superstar with money, Stevie Wonder, yeah, they gave him citizenship. He has money. When you drop a bag off, why do we have to drop off? We got to pay you to give us citizenship if that's our family. Why?
Well, because we all know that at the end of the day, money is important. We need money for everything. So even when you need a passport here in Canada, in America, you need to pay for it, even though you are Canadian, you are American. So money is important. Just recently, we saw Harry and his wife Megan went there, claiming that she has some kind of origin to Africa, 43% or whatnot, and she was well welcomed and whatnot, which some people are against and some people are for. So you can come to Africa,
They
is
weren't,
homeland to everybody who wants to come to Africa. We
man.
Africans are really, yeah, go ahead, please.
Man, they were kind of dissing her. They were kind of dissing Meghan Markle. They were kind of dumping on her, talking about they don't like how she dressed, and then they threw us under the bus. They're like, "Yeah, we don't. Those Black Americans dress like that. We don't dress naked like this." They kind of threw her and us under the bus, ma'am. So we don't want to do that now. We gotta tell the truth. But thank you so much, ma'am. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Because this okay, she's saying stuff that ain't true. All right. Yeah, yeah, I'm at to stop that. See, people start saying things that ain't true. Oh no, you can go over there. No, you know, you got to bring a bag to go over there. They're not letting us over there with no bag. Oh, they welcome Meghan Markle with open arms. Not really. What was that? Who was that woman who was shitting on us? And Meghan Markle talking about she was dressed naked and I don't like the way she dressed. Man, please. See, and the woman who called, she just gave a bunch of cliches and fantasies. One day it's going to take time. Okay,
Could I?
you can't. Okay, oh, well, who's this? Who's this?
They call me Brown Dot. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Uh, Go ahead, Brian. Well, hold on, let me finish what I'm saying. I get you on, but yeah, yeah, man. No, people say that type of stuff and are very hostile when we go over there. Yeah, the first lady of Nigeria. Okay, shout out to Macau. Yeah, the first lady of Nigeria. I didn't even know that was the first lady. My brother Macau just told me that. Yeah, the first lady of Nigeria shitted on Meghan Markle. Yeah, I thought it was like a random politician. I didn't realize it was the first lady. Yeah, they are very vitriolic towards us, dude. But I digress. Brown,
Yeah, Brown Dot. Can you hear me?
Brown. I can hear you. Are you Canadian too?
No, no, no. I'm from East Africa, but I live in South
Oh,
Africa right now.
okay. What part of East Africa are you from? Somalia,
Kenya.
Ethiopia, Kenya. Okay, there you go. What's on your mind?
Um, well, I've noticed the conversation has revolved now back to Pan Africanism. But before we go there, I just want to confirm. So the conversation you were having with the Somali guy, being FBA is about lineage, nationality, and politics, right? All three of those. That would qualify.
No, I wouldn't say politics, just lineage and nationality, you being a foundational Black American.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think it's important. I mean, let me just say I don't have a problem with the FBA movement. I think it's necessary for Black people to in America to define themselves as a distinct group, because I've often said that sometimes as a diaspora we kind of treat the Black American culture like a buffet, like a cultural buffet, where everyone can come
Right.
and eat from it, and then they don't acknowledge or respect the people who created the food in the first place. If you understand what I'm
Hmm.
saying.
Right.
As a Pan Africanist, Pan Africanism is about building an African civilization, and I believe that that's the future of wherever you see Black people on the planet.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
That's what.
Let's go. Well, then before we get into the Wakanda Akon City, the question is, what have they accomplished in past tense? What have they done already? What have they done to create this Akon City, Wakanda? What has been done with Pan Africanism?
Well, a civilization is not a Wakanda. It's not a United States of Africa. It's a, for example, the Western world is a civilization. It's composed of different.
Okay,
Um,
explaining,
no, I'm
explaining,
trying to explain to you
explaining.
what it is. A civilization,
Okay.
and then I'll try to explain what we've
Okay.
accomplished.
No, no, because now you're just talking in circles. We don't want to do that. This is real simple. What is Pan Africanists and Pan Africanist groups? What have they accomplished with all of this Pan Africanism that's
Okay.
been going on for what, a century or so? What has been accomplished? What can people say? Hey, look, this is what Pan Africanism has done so far. Go.
Okay. I think the first thing that we've done is we've been able to piece back the history of African people. The whole Afrocentric movement, all the scholars were Pan Africanists. And the lens that they used to interpret our history was a Pan African lens. And without them, we wouldn't have a knowledge of self. We wouldn't know where we. And many of those people were Black Americans, Pan Africanist scholars.
Right,
That's number one. Number.
right. I agree with that.
Okay. Number two, when it comes to the policies and the structure of the African continent, the establishment of the African Union, although it has, its flaws, has helped to foster integration between many African countries, creating trade routes, creating systems of commerce that have been tried and tested that will work time and time again. We have made developments towards fostering diaspora unity, creating communities in different parts of the world that are for the diaspora. And a good example of
Not
this.
really, not really, because the African Union, they don't have us in it and they kicked Haiti out. But go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
In 2001, the African Union was the first, to my knowledge, on the public stage to take reparations to the table for Black Americans in 2001 at the Durban Summit, where they invited Minister Farrakhan, where they invited all sorts of people who I think you would say are somewhat credible in the diaspora community, Black Americans, for example, Caribbean leaders. I mean, these are important steps. Let me try and think what else they.
Take reparations to the table as far as what? What did they say
Mhm.
about who should get reparations? Because we've been talking about reparations for the longest. So take it to the table as far as who paying what. You see,
Well, I think if I remember correctly,
just to say,
yeah, so there was a continental discussion, there was a Black American discussion, and then there was a Caribbean discussion. So this was the early stages of reparations, and the foundational periods was
well,
establishing whether or not it should be given and how much should be given. I don't remember the amount, but I remember that the 34 nations that were there, all African nations voted in favor of reparations, and the foreign nations that were invited to the conference voted against reparations. So I'm trying to lay a base here in terms of what they've been doing, because the work needs to be done in levels, right? You're not just going to unify Africa in one stage. You have to get the knowledge right, then we have to get the philosophy right and the politics right, and then we have to get the technology and the commerce, and that's what's happening right now with these revolutions. Zimbabwe just came out with a currency that's backed by the gold. We know what's happening in Burkina Faso and Mali and Niger, and how they've taken out the French and the military bases.
okay,
These are the kind of things that are being implemented right now that come from Pan-Africanism.
okay, all right. Well, thank you so much, brother. All right. So basically, one-sided. Like foundational Black Americans, um, basically got Black consciousness popping, and my guys telling me they over there in Africa, they're not really developing. They're not really developing anything like that. They haven't developed a comprehensive plan for nation building. They haven't really developed that. This it's kind of pie in the sky. That has not been developed. See, a lot of people are talking very idealistically about what should happen, woulda, shoulda, coulda, and all of that, but they haven't developed no comprehensive plan. No, they haven't. Sincere love, the God.
Peace. What's going on, Tariq?
What's going on, man? How are you, fam?
Doing all right, man. Pretty late over here, man, but I just happened to wake up and see that you was on. So good to chop it up with you.
Yes, indeed.
But yeah, Pan Africanism, man, basically has been a failure because, like you've pointed out and we've pointed out, for a long time, it's been very one-sided. Um, Pan Africanism was basically created by foundational Black Americans, and we have been the only ones really upholding it as a group. You have individuals throughout the diaspora who have been riders and try to make moves or whatever the case may be, but as a group, we're really the only ones that have that mindset just baked into our culture. You know what I'm saying? We just see Black people, no matter where they're from, as being, connected to us somehow. You know what I mean? For a long time, at least anyway. The delineation movement has started to shift that a bit. But I always point out because, I'm a hip hop artist and my music oftentimes gets labeled as conscious hip hop or whatever. And so I'll get booked to do shows at a lot of Pan-African events. And, me and my brother RP, we show up at these events and we do these shows or whatever. But one thing I always notice, there's never no Africans at the Pan-African events.
Wow.
There's really
Wow.
not really too many non-FBAs at the Pan-African events. You'll see some Jamaicans who are Rastafarians, you know what I'm saying? That's probably really it besides us. But for the most part,
Yeah.
it's just us there waving this whole Pan-African thing, with the red, black, and green and all of that. It's really just us. You know what I'm saying? And I spoke
Wow.
to Dr. Ma'at about this also, and we all know, she's a Pan-Africanist. And
Yeah.
she agrees with me. She does these events. She holds these events. She attends these events way more than I have. And she agreed with me. She like, you're right. They're not there. It's mostly just us. So it's been a one-sided thing. And that's why we don't really see too many tangible accomplishments that we can point to.
No doubt, my man. Thank you. So, and, are you here in Atlanta or are you in Maryland?
I'm in Atlanta. I'm in Gwinnett though. I'm in Gwinnett.
Oh, cool, cool. Yeah, did you hear about the whole water thing out here? The water pipes busting up out here.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Did they ever get that fixed?
I'm not sure because it's not affecting our side, and so I just
Got it.
seen people talking about it on social media, but I don't know the details.
Got it. All right, my man. Thank you so much, Sincere. Appreciate you, brother. Let's get Sunflower. Then we're gonna get Patrick. Sunflower.
Hello, hi everybody. Thank you for having me on stage. It's been nice listening to the discussion. I'm not an American. I don't live in America. I'm actually live in Australia, but I'm a Somali, and
Okay.
I would have to agree with the last speaker. I think, as a person who's grown up in a Somali household, who also has, there's quite a few different migrants here from African backgrounds who live in Australia. I think Pan-Africanism means something different, I think, to people in Africa and people who grew up probably with, like, from Africa. I'm going to be completely honest. I feel like with colonialism, there's also still a lot of bickering between African nations, and often there's just so much to deal with in one African nation that, like, other than kind of like when you see another Black person and you know that, hey, we might face the same struggles, there's not that instant kinship, you know what I mean? And I think that needs to be more acknowledged by other Africans because realistically, whatever country that you come from has a heap of problems or social issues that are going on and that are engaging you. I think sometimes having African American culture Like I live in Australia, but I think that's probably the biggest commercial that the US exports, outside to other countries. I think there's kind of like a lot of people don't know about specific African countries, but then they know about like black people. So I think
Yeah,
sometimes it's easier. And like also just as a consumer, I do love black shows. I think sometimes there is similarities about what maybe I've experienced or I've come across and whatever's like being portrayed on TV, because there's sure like there's not going to be a lot of white shows that are going to try to have that type of discussion as well. So I feel like sometimes it's shared experience against um, racism or the white establishment, which I think happens for everyone wherever you are. But I think this, almost like a kumbaya for Africa, I think is very just like unrealistic, because even within Africa, people like really disagree and have very different philosophies. Like, just for example, like Ethiopia and Somalia, we're neighboring countries, but we're drastically different. So
right,
I think sometimes it's like why does everybody expect Africans also to just be like a monolith? That's
right,
really like I feel like Africa is not a monolith. The people on there are not a monolith. What the people want from there, how the people express themselves, are not a monolith. And also what's really not taken into consideration is like most Africans, if you've migrated there or if your family is like a second generation or whatever, you're still a migrant compared to
right,
like a different history of an African American. And I feel like you can't conflate the two. Like even if a white person still calls you like a nigger, like you're still, it's just it's coming from a different, it's a place of ignorance from a white person, but you can't confuse the history. So
right.
that's my 2 cents.
Thank you so much. Right. Yeah, this is what I'm saying. People always try to make us the bearers of Pan Africanism, and we got to sit here and uphold this global African unity when it's not being done there. You see, the pressure is always on us to uphold this African unity, but they're not doing it there. And this sister just proved it. And they're not a monolith. They're not even on that there, to be honest. You know, that's the long and short of it. So I just hate that we always got to get shamed if we're not sitting up here running around with a red, black, and green flag. We ain't keeping it real, and all of the vitriol comes towards us, but not all of those gazillion tribes over there. So that's what we're saying. What's up, Patrick? Hop on, Patrick.
What's up, man? I'm not trying to cold burn. Like, I do support the.
Oh, slow down, slow down. Oh God. Okay, you coming in with the white supremacist little code burn. These are little white supremacist little slang terms. But go ahead, man.
No, but you get what I'm saying. Like, I'm not trying to glaze anyone, but you are right about the.
You thought you were being slick. I caught that. Okay, I just want you to know. I caught that. My audience might not have caught that. They don't know your little white supremacist code words, but I do. All right. So just to let you
That
know, I know your white supremacist code words, but go ahead. Okay, go ahead, man.
Yeah, I think you were right. Like, the FBA's. I didn't realize the immigration thing. I lived in Africa for a little bit, and one thing I noticed about Africans when I lived there, and some I talked to here, is they hate Black Americans more than white people, and they will try their best to impress white people and like think like this is what they think. They think like Black Americans are like punies or complain too much, and they think America's made of gold, and so like they'll like try to suck up more and like try to convince you that like it's not black Africans, it's that Black Americans like are not oppressed because the white man gives them everything, and they want to come to America so bad because they're hungry and they see like people with gold teeth and they're hungry and they're like, you guys feed them gold. I've never been to America, but there's beautiful pillows with awesome feathers. And at the same time, they're like telling you have to come have money to go to Africa if you want to immigrate here. But like honestly, look what America does. They put Black people in debt for college, right? And then they don't even give them a job. They replace them with some African from Africa who has no money, and that's how they incentivize fucking over FBA people. So I just thought that was kind of real. I don't know what your
Now,
perspective is on that.
Patrick, where did your family originate from? Are they from like Ireland or Scotland? Where'd they come from, and when did they immigrate here to the U.S.?
I have some. How do you like check? Like, do you use like Ancestry.com or some shit? Because I've done that.
No, no. I mean, your grandparents, man. You can just talk to your
Yeah, I
parents. I
talked to my
mean,
grandparents.
right? They'll tell you when they immigrated or when your great grandparents. It's either your
It,
grandparents or your.
yeah, it goes back farther than that, right? Like eventually, like you have some like grandparents who like came here super early. You know what I mean? But like, how real is that to us? Because there's like so many different generations in between, right?
But you would know.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
would
no, I
know.
have some of them for sure that have came here super early. Yes, they're
Yeah, but no, a lot of you in the dominant society, your people came after like 1880. So where did your parents or great great grandparents immigrate from? They would know. That's not too far.
yeah, yeah, no, no,
And
I know at different times, mostly from Europe, but some of them were here way before others. You know what I mean? Like,
we know you're. Well, you would know by your last name. Like, is it
it's
O'Reilly? You
Reeds.
you
My
would
last
know.
name's Reeds.
Reed. Okay, Ireland. That's kind of an
Yeah, Irish
Irish thing.
English name. Yep.
Right. Right. Okay. All right. So do you know when they came?
Some of them, yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Some of them
Okay.
came before others. You know what I mean? Because like your grandmother's dad's grandmother's grandfather might have came here at one time, and then somewhere along the line they bred with somebody who came here later. You know what I mean?
Right. Right. Okay. Now, here's the thing, because we're Foundation of Black Americans. We have a discussion going on with some of our cousins in Africa. We're corresponding with them about what's going on now in your community. Where those birth rates, man, those birth rates are kind of struggling.
Absolutely, right?
What do y'all do about them birth rates,
We're
man?
getting
How do y'all?
holocausted, man. Like it's the truth. That's what I tell those African people in Africa when I talk to them on Twitter, because I don't really talk to anyone. But I was in Djibouti for a little bit, like in the army, but I so I don't keep in touch with any of the people I talk to there. But like some of the people from like Africa that I talk to, they all think like, oh, America's like gold, and it's like the white man's so great, and I'm like, dude, we're getting killed. Like, we don't have any babies. You guys have more babies, and there's nothing really gold here. And I don't know. They just think like everyone, like black people in America are pussies, and they don't struggle, and they think they get police brutality harder, even though they
You
have
just flip.
kids.
Okay, I'm talking about your birth rate. See, you just flipped it
Oh
back
yeah,
to
yeah, no, no,
black
no,
people.
yeah. Their birth rates are way higher. Our birth rates, we're getting police brutality. It's so hard when they use women to sterilize us. You know what I mean? The court system. So our
You,
birth rates are
you,
dying, dude. You're right.
police brutality? How? What are you talking about?
How they slave us.
How do they enslave you as a white man?
So in America, right, they use the courts and violence because slavery is making people do stuff they wouldn't do and forcing them to do it with violence, right?
What kind of violence are they inflicting on you?
Well, they use money because money is a debt contract backed by violence. So it's super simple. There's always more
So,
debt than money. You can never pay back the debt because there's
so,
always more debt,
so,
right? Listen, there's only 5 types of
so,
non-dischargeable debts that they will force you to pay with, enslave you with via violence in a court. And those are,
so
you
you
know
said
what those are, right? Those debts are?
so that's make
Huh?
violence. So you just
No,
pretended
it's not
that the court,
violence. What happens if you don't pay this back? The police will come and use violence and put you in a
but that's
cage.
they're not doing anything violent to you. What are you talking?
So hold on. So
This is this.
if the police come,
Hold on. This is white supremacy 101, man. This is white supremacy 101. The violence to them is making them pay a bill. They look at that as violence. That's their violence. Okay? Making them have to pay a child support check is violence.
well,
That's white supremacy
there's only 5
101.
bills they will use violence to make you pay, and if you don't do it, they'll throw
Okay.
you in jail, right?
They don't use systematic violence against white dudes, man.
I,
Making you pay a bill.
they use it against
That's not
everyone, but whites seem to beat it
that
better. I
that,
agree, but they're not having kids. But the 5 debts that
that
they use violence.
that's something white not say so.
No, I was just gonna say the 5 debts. It's a portion of taxes,
Right.
federally backed student.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. I'm not gonna let a white supremacist sit here and lie to y'all, man. Yeah, I just wanted to, just to show you the I'm white not say so narrative. Oh Lord, wow, these people, boy. Let me get one last call. Let me get my brother McCall. I know he has something to say about what they were talking about building in Africa. My brother is very well versed on what they're doing over there. Brother Mikhail, let us know what's really happening with the infrastructure and the plans over there to build communities in Africa, brother.
Great Minister of Code.
I'm so good, brother. How are you?
Just enjoying the Barnum and Bailey variety show. Sheesh.
Man.
Oh boy. Okay. Look, let me unpack this in less than 2 minutes. First of all, Pan African, especially in the coming 20.
Oh man, you're breaking up, brother. Brother. You're breaking up. Oh, on my brother's phone, the reception is bad, and I really wanted him to speak on that. Okay. All right. Okay, I'm gonna get him next time. Let me close it out because I've been on here for, oh Lord, been on here for almost 3 hours. So let me shut it down. Everybody go to rally4reparations.com, rally4reparations.com, and microphone check. Get the movie Microphone Check at microphonecheck.com. Papiakute lalavuwe to the family. Peace.